In India, cricket isn't just a sport. It's practically a religion. But over the last couple of decades, it's turned into something else too, a massive multi-billion-dollar business. And right at the heart of this whole financial revolution is the Indian Premier League. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how this 2-month cricket tournament became an incredible $18 billion economic engine.
Welcome to Easy Learning with Santosh, your destination for simple and smart learning. Today, we're decoding the incredible economic machine behind the IPL. Let's just start with one mind-blowing number, $18.5 billion. Yeah, that's the projected value of the entire IPL ecosystem by 2026. To put that into perspective, that's bigger than the entire sports industry of many, many countries. So, that brings us to the big question, right? How on earth does a tournament that only lasts for 2 months every year become such a global economic powerhouse? Well, let's dive in and find out. Okay, here's our game plan. First, we'll get a sense of the sheer scale of this juggernaut. Then, we'll look at the central money pool, the thing that funds it all, and see how the teams themselves make their money. After that, we'll check out the IPL's wider impact on the economy, and finally, we'll take a peek at what the future might hold. All right, first up, the scale of this thing. Let's really try to wrap our heads around that $18.5 billion figure.
The growth here is just staggering. Just look at the jump on this chart. The IPL's value went from $8.5 billion in 2022 to $16.4 billion by 2024. Doubling its value in just a couple of years, thanks mostly to a massive new media rights deal, is something you almost never see for a sports league of this size. It's pretty incredible.
And this is where the IPL's efficiency really shines. If you look at media rights revenue per match, yeah, the NFL is in a league of its own. But check this out. The IPL, at $13.4 million per match, actually out-earns the NBA and is not too far behind the English Premier League. What this really means is that the IPL packs an absolutely huge financial punch into a very, very compact 2-month season. So where is all this cash coming from? Well, that brings us to something called the central money pool. Think of it as the financial engine room that powers the entire league.
So what exactly is it? Well, the Central Revenue Pool is basically this massive fund that's managed by the BCCI, which, as you know, is the governing body for cricket in India. It gets its money from 2 main places: the cash from selling broadcast and streaming rights, which we call media rights, and then the money from big league-wide sponsors, known as central sponsorships.
Now, this central pool is fueled by one thing more than any other: media rights. They make up the lion's share. We're talking about 70 to 75% of the total pot. The rest of it comes from those major central sponsors, like the Tata Group. And just how valuable are these media rights? Oh, boy. The deal for 2023 to 2027 was worth a historic 48,390 crore rupees. That's over $6 billion US dollars. But here's the crucial part. About half of this enormous sum gets distributed equally among all 10 franchises. That guarantees every single team a massive payout before a single ball is even bowled. Okay, that brings us to how the franchises themselves get rich. Beyond their cut of that central pool, how do individual teams build their own financial empires? Well, this is their local playbook. So teams have several of their own revenue streams. The biggest one is local sponsorships, all the logos you see plastered on a player's jersey. Then you've got matchday revenue, which is everything from ticket sales to food and drinks. And of course, there's merchandise. Every team jersey or cap that's sold adds more money to the pot. And finally, teams are getting really smart with creating digital content to engage fans and pull in online brand partnerships. Of course, to make money, you have to spend it. And the biggest expense for any team is player salaries. These are decided in 3 main ways. There's the famous IPL auction, where teams get into bidding wars for players. There's the retention policy, which lets teams keep their star players for preset price. And then there are trades, where teams can just swap players directly with each other. And believe me, those salaries can be absolutely astronomical. This table here just gives you a little snapshot of the top tier. In 2026, Rishabh Pant actually set a record with a 27 crore rupee contract. And you can see legends like Virat Kohli also command these massive deals. This level of spending really shows you just how much financial firepower these teams have. Okay, now let's zoom out a bit and look at what's called the IPL's economic multiplier effect, because its real impact is felt far, far beyond the cricket field. So for 2 months every year, the IPL basically becomes a massive stimulus package for the entire Indian economy. Think about it. Tourism surges, hotels are completely booked, and thousands of jobs are created. E-commerce and food delivery apps see this huge spike during matches, and the advertising industry gets a multi-billion-dollar injection of cash. It's wild. And to put a number on it, some pretty conservative estimates suggest the IPL ecosystem creates over 20,000 seasonal jobs every single year. These are jobs in things like event management, logistics, security, and media production. And how about this? In the hospitality sector alone, the league generates about 45,000 hotel room nights every year. I mean, during the season, hotel occupancy in the host cities often shoots past 90%. This is a direct, measurable economic boost that you can actually see and feel. So after all this explosive growth, what does the future hold? That brings us to our final section. What's next for the IPL? The next innings, if you will.
But for the first time, there might be a challenge on the horizon. Industry analysts are now predicting that the explosive growth in media rights, which has been the league's primary engine, is likely to level off or plateau in the next cycle. So after 2 decades of just non-stop growth, the biggest income stream could finally be hitting its ceiling.
And this leaves us with a really fascinating final question. If media rights growth is slowing down, where is the next wave of revenue going to come from? Is it going to be from global expansion, maybe more teams and international leagues? Or will it be about finding new ways to make money from that massive fan base all year round, not just during the 2-month tournament? So if there is one key takeaway here, it's this. The IPL is so much more than just a cricket tournament. It's a complex, finely tuned economic engine. It's powered by that huge central revenue pool. It's driven by diverse franchise earnings, and its ripple effect gives a boost to the entire national economy. Hey, if you found this breakdown insightful, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And make sure to subscribe for more explainers from us here at Easy Learning with Santosh. Thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you in the next one.